Hello, you guys. We're back with another episode, and this episode is very special because we have a guest, the neighbor of Tia's soon-to-be ex-husband, Cory. We have her on, and I want to make sure I say your name right. Is it Kiki Green? Is that correct?
Yes, I am the neighbor. The
You are
neighbor is here.
And let me tell you. Now, you're supposed to do the interview with Storm, so let's open up with that because he came out and said, hey, he's going to release an interview with Cory's neighbor. And I'm like, okay, what happened then? Poof, Cory responded, said lawsuit. So tell us about that backstory right quick.
So, first of all, I have known this information for so long, and I didn't even know it was important. I have my own YouTube channel. I have never brought up Cory Hardrict. I can't stand him. I'm not interested in him. I don't look at nothing going on with him. I have not been listening to the two of them. I have not been listening to their interviews or any of that, okay? So what happened was when they announced the divorce and the internet goes up and they're rehashing this wonderful Black romance and these goals and all these relationship goals, and it just makes me want to puke every time I see it, okay? So I go on my TikTok platform where I have 33,000 followers, and I'm like, what is y'all talking about? Because Cory met Tia on the corner of Hazel and La Brea in Inglewood, across the street from the Astroburger at the bus stop. So then I have children who were mere fetuses in 1999 telling me that they knew that that's not the case and they met on a movie set and all these other things, okay? So I went on my live on my channel and we sat and talked about this all day, and I gave everybody the whole story, and then some other tea and other information started coming towards me that made things make sense, and I realized this was way bigger than I ever thought it was, okay? So now one of my followers, she's actually in the chat right now, T. Lee Vision. Shout out to you, okay? Because she's the reason why you guys are getting this exclusive right now, okay? She reached out to Storm. Usually all of the bloggers ignore me, but they come and they take my tea and they run with it. But Storm contacted me. I said, I have no problem with coming on your platform and doing an interview. If he wanted to do it live or pre-recorded, it didn't matter. When he contacted me, we went and did a interview within an hour. 2 hours of that initial contact, okay? So I basically told him everything that I knew at the time, and it's up to him. It's his platform to release it however it is that he wants to. So he went on live and he teased it and said, hey, I have this coming up for you. You guys were going to, talk about how they really met and all that kind of stuff, okay? So next thing that happens is when it's time for him to upload, when he uploads the video and it's time for it to go live, Cory says, lawsuit. So Storm said, hey, I want to check this out with my lawyer. And I'm like, you know what? Do it. Once again, I don't even like Cory. I don't have no stake in this. I didn't even know that this information was pertinent. I didn't know it was worth over 100,000 views on a video about a video.
So let me tell you this, that a lady reached out to me. Of course, she's one of your supporters. And she said, hey, I know Cory's neighbor. I watch her channel. And I said, okay, tell her to come on the show. And because what I thought that when the interview was supposed to come out, I was like, okay, I was ready to take my notes to review it. And then Cory said lawsuit and everything like that. And I'm like, wow, how did Cory respond so quickly to this video?
Well, what I have found out since then is that Cory has a gag order on one of the neighbors. And that's who he thought was getting ready to tell. He was trying to intimidate that person.
Oh wow! So he thought, okay, but you're not the one
Hell
with the
no.
gag on. Okay.
Hell no. I wish he would, because guess what? Play with me, Cory, and I'm gonna blow Tamara's spot up too. So just you and Tia go lay down somewhere. Folk Tamara get blown up. How about that? Check that. I'm from Los Angeles. I got so much information on everybody, honey. Play with me. It won't be no Super Bowl halftime. That's how bad it is.
So I want to make. Can y'all hear us? They said it's an echo. Let me make sure.
Okay.
Let me make sure. Can y'all hear us? Good. Before we get into this video, can y'all hear us? Good. Is the sound good? I want to make sure. Is the sound?
Because we can start over.
No. I just want to make sure before we dive and get into it. We good? Okay, the sound is good. So you are the former neighbor of Cory. So what really happened? Was he living with minors? What happened when you first? Okay, let's slow down. Okay, go ahead.
So now the year is like 1998. Okay. My best friend from 6th grade, okay, is her apartment on the same street as Cory. I live 2 blocks around the corner. Okay. Now, I remember the day that he moved in, he blew into town. It was like a vampire had descended on the damn neighborhood. It was cloudy that day. That's how his energy was so bad. He can't match, he can't dress, whatever. He was carrying his little boxes into this apartment. And the apartment was right down the street. Okay. She said, what does blowing up the Super Bowl have to do anything? My point is that I got information on everybody in Hollywood, including Rihanna. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, so they don't bring attention to me. I'm sorry. I won't look at the comments.
Don't look at the comments. We want to get the story out. Okay.
Let me get out the comments. Okay, so now he moves down the street to the right of her. Okay, her apartment is on the end corner. So now, even if we in her room, we can see, not in the end corner, but where her bedroom is, where she is facing the street. So even if we are in the house, we have surveillance of the entire block between her bedroom window and her balcony. Okay. Now, we have a group of friends. It's summertime. And back in 1999, we used to go outside. So it would be all these kids playing outside. You don't even know who house belonged to who. We coming from all around the corner. We're all gathering on her front lawn, basically. Okay. Now, when Cory moves in, from my understanding, mind you, there's no Wikipedia or nothing to look people up or anything like that. Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, I see a young man moving into an apartment that looks about 20 years old. Okay, fast forward, next thing we know, he and one of the boys that we hung out with all the time, who lives directly across the street from my best friend, is about 16 at the time. Okay. I don't know when the two of them became friends, but what you see is that all of a sudden Cory's going to his house and the boys going to his house, but Cory's mostly going to his house. I don't know what they got going on. Then the young man gets a car, and guess who's driving it? Cory is driving the car. Okay. Now, if he's hanging out with us, it gets to the point where Cory's constantly walking over to that friend group and pulling him away. Then there's a couple other guys that stays in that building of that young man who are cooler with that young man. You know, you got your cliques, you know what I'm saying? So him and his clique would spend a lot more time with Cory. Cory didn't like my friend. He didn't like me. I never actually seen him talk to any women at all under any circumstance, quite frankly, other than Tia. Okay. Now, at some point, I would say not even a year later, he begins living there with that young man. And the young man had to beg his mother for Cory to stay there, because Cory says that his roommates got up and they just left and abandoned him, and he didn't have nowhere to go. He didn't have no family. And if this young man's mother did not allow him to live there, that he would be on the streets. Wow. That he would be homeless. Okay. So now we stopped seeing that young man. His behavior changed. Me and that young boy were friends. As a matter of fact, I had a crush on him for a very long time. We used to talk on the phone. You know, it was just now getting to that little phase where you could talk on the phone and that kind of stuff. I'm 14 at the time. Okay.
Hello?
Yes, you can't hear me?
You said you was talking on the phone with him?
No. Oh, yeah, I'm saying me and that young man used to talk on the phone, and you know, we had a crush on each other, but I was 14, he was 16, it was kid stuff. Okay. Okay. So now, when Cory moved in there, we stopped seeing him as much, and his behavior started changing. Okay. And it became strange. So it separated the friend group. He had his little clique over there. We had our clique over here. Okay. Now, as time moved on, once that summer went on, we all grew up and we went about our lives. We really stopped seeing that young man altogether. Now, Fast forward, that young man looked like the life has been sucked out of him. I don't know what's going on with him. One of the other, so there's 4 boys mainly that was around Cory all the time. One of them is on drugs. The other one looked like he probably is or was on drugs. One of them is walking around crazy, talking to himself, and one of them decided to become a gangbanger and now is dead. Okay. So the kids on the other side of the street who had nothing to do with Cory, everybody's thriving. We're all doing well. Okay. So now what was you over there doing? What you expose them to, Cory? Now I can tell you one thing I know you exposed them to. He did a commercial with Missy Elliott. It's a Sprite commercial. Okay, if you look it up, he's the guy on the right-hand side, all the way in the back. He don't even have no lines. But for whatever reason, it just turned Missy Elliott on so much that she left him a very explicit voicemail. Okay? He made sure to play the explicit voicemail to all the teenagers in the neighborhood because they didn't believe him. Because everybody said, we didn't even think Missy Elliott liked boys. He said, oh, was she like me? Here is the video.
And what did
here is audio.
What was
now the audio was saying basically, and mind you, this has been a million years, okay? But something about come get this, you know what, and I'll pay you.
Wow, come get this, you know where she'll pay him.
Yeah, somebody exchange of money, something about that. Now, mind you, I have not liked that boy since the beginning of time, since he rolled in on the street. It's something about him. It's something about him. So when they were playing the recording, everybody ran across the street to listen, and I stood back with my arms folded and watched everybody giggle. It's her, it's her, it's her. It really is her. Okay. Now, I know some things about Missy Elliott that the world does not want to get out. She don't want to get out, etc. And I think that has a lot to do too with why he's been protected for so long. But if I'm connecting her behavior with him, with the strange activity of those boys, that's what made me want to talk, because I want to know what happened to these young men, because none of them were gangbanging and all of them's parents was paying them attention and taking care of them. And it's apparently, except for the one who let her move in there, but that's a whole nother story. But for the most part, these kids were well adjusted and they would have never ended up on drugs or in a gang, because there was none of that. If they weren't allowed to leave the damn block, so they wouldn't have got exposed to whatever they got exposed to unless Cory exposed them to it. So now, what I'm hearing from their backstory that don't make no sense. Okay, they dated for 6 years, so they claim, before they got married. But they also claim that they met in 1999, but y'all got married in 2008. Honey, I took calculus. That is not 6 years. Now, they also claim that they met on a Hollywood horrors film set in 1999 that was downtown Los Angeles. Nobody ain't seen this movie. It wasn't released anywhere till 2005. However, Cory's name is in the front credits, and he's important enough in the movie to get killed in the Hollywood horror. He also had the Sprite commercial. He also had a Twix commercial. He was also on Felicity, and he was also on Smart Guy in 2007. Since I've done that Storm interview, I have time to go back and do all the research and find all of the lies.
But so in the video, when Tia said in the video that he bought her flowers and that he was nervous around, her family, and that's how, and he was nervous. So that story is just not true that they met before that?
Put it this way. They're lying, is my point. They're lying. The story now, when he came and told those teenage boys, he didn't have no friends his own age to confide in. So every time he talked to a girl, he's telling these from between the ages of 12 and 16, those are his confidants. Wow. Okay. Wow. So now the story he gave them was that he was in front that Astroburg across the street at that bus stop, and that she pulled up, hey, sexy, how you hop in? You so fine, hop in. Tia, wasn't no Tamara, none of that. Hop in. He got in, they start talking, baby, you don't need no money. I got you, like a straight gangster. That's how Tia put up on him. That's the story we always heard. So now this whole new thing, now that Tamara, who we know that that likes white men, this is their story. Their story is that they were shooting, this is what they told Black Love. They're shooting a movie downtown LA. They see Cory. Tamara likes him and waves him and flags him down. He says he was embarrassed. They claim they bust some type of U-turn downtown Los Angeles, which is very interesting to me, girl. I don't want to know how you did that. Okay, because most of those streets go one way, girl. So what did you do to bust or whatever? So whatever. They pull up on him. He gets in the back seat. Tamara likes him. Tamara is the one who got his phone number. Tamara is the one who invited them to her 21st birthday party. Right, Tia? That's what you said. So then she goes on to say, and then after that, Tamara, I think Tamara gave you my number. Who gave you? How'd you get my number? And Cory says he doesn't know. That's what they told Black Love. Go look it up. He don't even know where he got the number from because they asses is lying. And that's probably why she put this story out right before Tamara's book came out, because she don't want nobody to catch their ass up because y'all been lying on Tamara the whole damn time. Now, he says that she several times had to come down to the hood to drop him off, and she was such a nice person, and they only went out on group dates, and it took a year before they kissed and all this other stuff. But I know for a fact that her and him and that teenage boy where he lived with was hopping in and out of her black Mercedes-Benz, pulling in, getting out, and hanging out inside of his apartment, the young man's apartment, where his mother was working nights. Now, I heard, I cannot prove it, I did not see, but according to the teenagers who know all of Cory's business, because he don't confide in no adults, that he and this young man shared a room. However, the young man had a couch in his room, so I am not insinuating anything. I am sure they were just in there playing video games. But what I am trying to figure out is why this has been left out of his entire superhero origin story, because if a nice family took me in when I was poor and destitute and I had nowhere to go, all the way in Inglewood. I don't know, no movies made in Inglewood. All the movies is made in Hollywood, and
So
at this time in 1999.
I want to insert a question here. So you're spending tea about that. Have you had any sexual relation with Cory, or do you know?
No.
Okay, you wasn't attracted with Cory.
No, I was talking to the boy that he came and take. This is when I found out that a grown man could come and take the boys away. I didn't know that. That young man was very cute. He was very attractive. All the girls on the block liked him. Everybody liked him because he was very attractive.
He was cool. So Cory pretty much had all the young men, is what you're saying. He was
he was always finding a way to pull them away. And it wasn't never like, hey, y'all playing football? Hey, throw me the ball. It wasn't no energy like that. He wasn't friendly. He wasn't cool. None of that type of stuff. You know, one time I cussed his ass out because he parked his car right where we used to hang out at and then complained when the kids was leaning up against it. Then why don't you get your car and move it somewhere then? Why is you always? I could not understand. And see, I was raised by a single father, and I'm from the East Side, and I know what a 19, 20-year-old man who was out of high school is supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be getting your ass up every day and going to work and going to auditions and being busy. And I never seen him busy. He had enough time to be occupying a group of young men to where we could never see them because they was always up under him, doing whatever, ping pong or badminton or whatever it is the young men do. I don't know because there wasn't no girls around.
So why do you think that, Storm did not put out the interview with you? Because I know you all have an agreement to say, hey, put it out on YouTube. How did that make you feel when Storm said, hey, I'm going to charge the people $5.99 to put the interview out? How did that make you feel?
Initially, I was like, why? I did the interview for free. And I didn't know that this information was pertinent, but this is bigger than just gossip to me because I feel like that he's a shady character. Tia is a shady character. And what is it that y'all were really doing that you guys want to keep this damn lie up? Because to me, I didn't think that this was information. So now the fact that this little silly information about you staying with this young man is such a big deal. Look, when he said it's the neighbor and this fool is threatening to sue, if you wasn't doing nothing, then why do you want to sue? Because a neighbor finna tell that you had to live with somebody.
Do you believe that he had any sexual relationship with the young man that Cory was staying with? Do you believe that they had a sexual relationship? Or was it rumor? Because in the hood talk, people talk in the neighborhood. Was that one of the rumors that he was sleeping with the young man?
It's not because, mind you, we were between the age of 12 and 16. My mind and imagination could not even stretch that far. However, I lost my attraction to that young man because he started doing his behavior and his mannerisms changed. He started doing some what you would call metrosexual things at the time, like wrapping his hair to wash Cory's car, which I thought was strange. I'm like, why are you wrapping your hair? Oh, so it don't get wet. I'm like, since when do you went from wearing the same damn t-shirt 3 days in a row to spending all this time in the mirror and it was just strange. So that's all. I'm not insinuating nothing. I'm just telling y'all what I know. This is why I don't understand why it would be a lawsuit and why people would be afraid to put the video out. It's becoming, when he said lawsuit and all that, that's what made it even stranger.
A lot of people that when I originally heard of this story, they were saying that, Cory must be hiding something when he say lawsuit. Because typically, when you're threatening a lawsuit, you're trying to silence the person. Now, when we originally talked, you said that he put a gag order on a neighbor, but the neighbor wasn't you. Could you dive into that?
Now, this is here, and I ain't supposed to be telling you this, but at the same time, Cory's ass is a bully, and so it's just gonna have to go down. All right. So what I was told a long ass time ago is that when Cory did that Clint Eastwood movie, he went to the club, and one of the neighbors, he's not one of the young men that was spending a bunch of time with him. He was the one that lagged back with us, okay? And then when he seen him, he was like, hey, and tried to dap him up, and Cory wouldn't dap him up. Okay, so whatever happened after that, I don't know, but I do know that it got legal and that he has not been allowed to talk about Cory at all for 15 years, probably longer. So what is it that you're trying to hide from an altercation that happened in the club that everybody saw? Why does this young man need a gag order on him?
Wow. So a young man it's a young man that got the gag order.
We about the same age, but I'm just saying that.
I mean, but it's a man that got the gag, not a woman.
No, yeah, it's a man that has a gag. Child, he ain't got nothing with a woman.
Wow. So why do you think you was a neighbor, you was young and you were around Cory? In your heart of hearts, why do you think that Tia announced that they're getting a divorce? Who do you think? What do you think about that whole situation? What was your thoughts, or what are you hearing?
Now, Cory was very trifling. Okay, can't dress, didn't clean his car. This is out of his own admission. Wouldn't clean up his car. I heard that he didn't even pay rent over there while he was at that young man's house. Okay. So now I cannot figure out, because according to her, she was reading all these self-help books about how she was going to learn to be courted instead of just dating and all this other stuff. So I don't know what was in that self-help book that told you to pick up bums off the street that have no track record of being responsible. Okay. But yet he left that young man's house and moved in with her. Okay. I challenge anybody to find who his manager is. And we can't find the manager. It's behind some paywall. It's highly secret, but yet you constantly got all these jobs. So now, ain't no telling what the hell Cory's weird ass is over there doing. And I believe they've been married all this time in the first place because Tia has lied to her family and did everything else she could to protect the level of bum that this is.
So I want to make this correct, that Cory was living with a young man. Whether he was parent ridden,
he was a teenager.
He was a teenager. Let's put that in perspective.
In high school,
it was a teenager in high school he was living with. He leave there to go move in with Tia. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Wow. I didn't know that.
He tells everybody that for 2 years he had a studio apartment when he came to Inglewood. He ain't even explain why he would move to Inglewood. He ain't explain how he got his first jobs. And I'm really curious as to know, because it's possible they met on that set of Smart Guy and they came up with this whole damn story to protect that, how long they've been knowing each other. I have no idea. Who knows? But whatever they saying is a damn lie. That part I know. So now I believe that they've just been tired of each other, and that if he leaves her, then financially he's going to have some consequences. And those twins are also powerful to some degree and might even be able to stop his bag. But you notice they didn't got together and they holding on like Jack and Rose at the end of the Titanic, talking about, I love you too, because the neighbor is talking, and that's why they're talking, to find out what all is getting ready to be said.
So why are you speaking out now? I don't know how long you've been doing this, but when did you first start speaking out about Cory?
Okay, I have a video right now on my TikTok that has 26,000 views where I was simply just responding to another TikToker who was talking about the divorce and how they were such a wonderful couple and people are so shocked by this. And I got on TikTok and said, if I remember correctly, Cory met Tia at the bus stop across the street from the Astro Burger in Inglewood. And this is what happens when you pick up bums off the street and you try to clean them up and buy you a husband so it looked like you could get a man and have somebody on your arm. Well, what y'all expect? Hell, they got 14 years and some kids out of it. That's better than a lot of people. Well, she ain't no victim. Now, the way that them people came in and flooded, and they came and tussled in them comments, and then this is when they were saying he had an established career. They were working on a movie. They met downtown. I'm hearing all these details I have never heard before in my life. Everything that I am telling you is from what I saw and knew from living in that neighborhood. This is the first time I'm ever hearing about a movie. So Cory made sure that all the boys in the neighborhood knew that Missy Elliott had sent him a voicemail. They all knew that Tia met him, picked him up, thought he was hot, was going to take care of him. That's been the plan since day one, baby girl. We all knew that. But it is news to me that you was working on Hollywood Horror and had all these other TV credits. Because my understanding was that the neighbors had abandoned you and that you had nowhere to go and that you had nothing and you was struggling and this is why you had to live with this young man. That was my understanding.
Do you think that Tia is a trashy black woman? Because it seemed like you have anger towards her.
Well, I don't think Tia is a black woman at all because I have 2 black parents. And so I just don't understand how black and biracial is the same thing, honey. But I could show you as a white parent, if anybody has a white parent that they would like to trade, okay, that's going to take care of me and make sure they nurture me and I could walk around and be an airhead and marry bums with no consequences, honey. It is not the same thing. I don't have anger towards her, but I don't look up to her. It's nothing about, them girls they don't do nothing for me. I don't dislike them. I watched the show right along with everybody else. I didn't realize how big of a liar she was until this story came out and I went back and sat there and watched this Black Love. It took y'all 40 minutes to explain how y'all knew each other. I am a married woman. That don't make no damn sense.
So I want to say this, and I say this humbly.
Sure.
A lot of people would say, well, maybe she tried to date Cory and Cory said no and picked Tia. Do you want to answer it? Because a lot of people say, well, she just probably dated Cory and Cory probably paid her no mind.
I have no idea what them people doing. I'm trying to figure out. They're just weird, y'all. It's just weird. I ain't spent no time. Listen, I have a platform for 6 years. I have never brought up this story because I try to put it away. When Cory face hop up on the TV, unless it's something I got to watch, I usually change it. I don't like this man. I don't think about him. I don't look him up. So I'm telling y'all, this is the first time I called my best friend who lived in that apartment to make sure I wasn't crazy. I said, Did you know that he worked on this movie? No. Did you know he was on Felicity? No. Did you know he was on Smart Guy? No. Let's look up. Wait a minute. Who are his parents? Okay, here's the names of the parents. But wait a minute. On your Instagram, you're kissing a headstone. You say, love you, mom. But the name on the headstone, it's different from the one that's on the internet. So I don't know who this man is. And my whole thing with Tia and the reason why I sound like this, and this is for all women, you have no business marrying a man that you do not know. And then all this deceit and all this weird stuff. This man never demonstrated to you that he was husband material, man quality, or none of that. Because I watch this bum every day lay up and not do anything. So a girl who was worth this much money, quite frankly, you become a public nuisance. This is why the reason why Britney Spears ended up in that situation. You become a public nuisance when you have money like that and you are irresponsible. Because whatever this weird ass man is up to, it has now been expounded upon. You know what I'm saying? His reach is wider. Now he's able to threaten people with this creep, is able to put lawsuits on people with Tia's money. So this is why I'm mad at her.
A young man, he have a gag order against. How do you know that? Did that young man tell you that?
I heard it come out his mouth.
Okay. Did Cory actually send legal paperwork towards you? Because and if you do send any legal paperwork, are you ready for that?
Now, I'm not from Inglewood. I'm from 35th and Central.
Okay.
If you got any paperwork that you would like to send, you just go on ahead and send that paperwork. Go ahead. Run the paperwork. Run the paperwork. Y'all, it's a problem with y'all coming from Chicago or wherever else you come from. You coming to Hollywood, you want to make it big, move to Hollywood. Don't be down there on Manchester, Maine, trying to eat waffles. Don't be all up in Inglewood trying to get close to the teenagers. Don't do that. Go to Hollywood. You coming to Hollywood to be a star? Go to Hollywood. Don't be down at the Astro Burger. You understand what I'm saying? Why is you so deep in this hood?
But he was broke. You do know that.
This is what I'm saying.
If he was broke, then I can understand you have nowhere to go. Obviously, you have to move in with somebody. So technically, you're saying,
let me help you.
Okay,
let me help you. Because not only that, I went to middle school and high school in Burbank. My classmates were in major motion pictures. Okay. When you move to Hollywood to become a star, you go to Hollywood where all the other people are that are trying to get in Hollywood, and you go wait tables and y'all all room together. And that's how you get jobs. You go on auditions together. That is how you become a star in Hollywood. Not in Inglewood, living with people who are not in the Hollywood industry at all whatsoever. That doesn't make any sense. I have never seen it done, especially not this successfully.
Okay. Cory is a successful actor, and he is a successful actor. I don't know the problems, issues that he had with his wife, but obviously they're getting divorced, so something happened. Um, you're married. Do you find Cory attractive today, or did you
No,
get you never find him attractive? Okay.
no. And I am
A lot.
also a big energy reader. And I am
Okay.
telling you that this man's energy gives you the heebie-jeebies.
When
It
you say
felt
when you say that with the energy, keep it real. What energy did he give you? Like what vibe did you?
like a vampire, like in the vampire movies when they move. I'm telling you, it was like gloomy. The damn stratus clouds appeared and the wind was, I think I heard a tumbleweed. That's how weird this man is. I was 14 years old when this man said on his, it's been reported that he said the neighbors across the street never liked me. The children, we were children, Cory. Why didn't the children across the street like you? Because our parents was not paying us enough attention, especially not your ass, because if they was, they probably would have asked you what you was doing around the children. The children across the street. We're grown now, but at the time we were children. So why would some girl in the 9th grade be thinking that a 20-year-old man who just moved into the neighborhood is so creepy and still feels the same eerie feeling every time she sees his face to this day?
I do want to ask you a question because you was alluding to it. Let's answer it directly. Yes or no? Do you believe that Cory is a gay man?
I believe that everybody in Hollywood has participated in something gay, male or
Not
female.
So we gonna keep it with Cory. What do you believe that he's gay?
Because listen, like I said, being from Los Angeles and knowing the way that I know, it is no way to get through this business without having to do something strange. And doing something gay is not the worst thing that you can do in Hollywood in order to get on, to the point where I don't even spend my energy.
That Cory slept with a minor because he was living with a minor? Did you believe that he slept with it? Because you said that young man, he changed his style.
You know what? I liked that kid. I thought he had a very bright future ahead of him. And if he would have stayed on whatever course that he was on prior to meeting Cory, then he would have a brighter future than what it appears to be now. But I am not going to put that jacket on him because I do not know what y'all was in there doing. But at the very least, Cory was a bad influence. And I have spent time with my younger siblings and with their friends. Whenever I was around them, it was to encourage them. It was to help them do something, help them proofread an essay.
When you say it was a bad influence of what?
Well, first of all, you ain't got no business playing no explicit voicemails of a grown woman to no teenagers, and you don't have no business running to tell these teenagers the first time you hook up with a woman or talk to a woman or whatever, and you damn for sure didn't have any business entertaining Tia, who is 2 years older than Cory, which means that heifer was 2 years older than Cory. So, however grown, because mind you, we ain't got Wikipedia. Okay, at the time. So he, for a fact, was at least 19. My understanding was that he was 20. I don't know if he was going on 20 legal. Or what. That's okay, legal. So now, watch this. The 16-year-old is the person that's not legal. T is 2 years older than Cory. You and this grown woman are entertaining each other in whatever ways their boyfriends and girlfriends do, and you're entertaining each other at this 16-year-old's house while his mama is at work. Is this the reason why you don't want the public to know? They're the ones making it weird. I never knew this tea was important. So it's only important to them if they were doing something they had no business doing. I don't know what they was doing.
I feel right here hearing this when Cory, what made me interested in this story, because I was excited. I was like, oh my God, okay, let's hear it. You said living with minors. Did a voicemail.
Mind you, I didn't make that title.
I understand.
I did not make that title.
I made the same title identical to his. So I wanted to keep the same essence of what you had to say.
But I did not make that. Excuse me, I did not make his title. That's all I want to say.
But Missy Elliott made, I don't know how old Cory was, so I'm not going to say she made it towards a minor.
No, Cory was not a minor.
But he shared, from my understanding, he shared this explicit voicemail with minors.
Absolutely. That 100% happened, and I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
Okay. And she said on the voicemail, what, for the people that's just joining in, what did Missy Elliott say?
They ran across the street giggling, saying she said she wanted to give him some you know what, and that she was going to give him some money.
Oh, wow. She was going to pay for it. And he played it with teenagers. He played that
between the ages of 12 and 16.
If Cory reached out to you and say, man,
I'm going to talk about him like a dog. He gonna get cussed out. I thought his ass was weird then. I think he weird now. And if I was a grown woman, I would have been in his business. I wanted to know why you were here and what you were doing, because it's not like he went to high school with them and he just graduated a few years older than them. As a matter of fact, there was the oldest in our friend group that was like the young, some of the guys' older cousin. He used to be over there all the time. And he was 18. He had just graduated high school. He and Cory do not like each other. And Cory made no efforts to become friends with him. Mm-hmm. Yet that man who was 18 years old at the time wasn't none of his little cousins over there down to Cory's house. Wasn't nobody whose mamas was having eyes on them or had an older brother or something watching them. They wasn't down to hanging out with Cory.
And why do you think that is?
Because who is he? Nobody knows. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's not like he lived around there for a long time and then he just grew up with them and he came into a situation and went in with people who are familiar. I don't even understand how you even had time to meet any teenagers, because you should have been too busy taking your ass to work and auditions. What was you doing? Now, I ain't even going to be messy and pull up the damn Google Maps, okay? However, he had to travel. He had to walk 3 houses down. 1, 2, 3... like 4, 5 houses down and across the street to go to this young man's house. Where'd you meet him? In the middle of the street doing what? How you meet him? You went out your way to meet him. You went out your way. Like, you went out your way to come hang out with the boys when we were standing in front of the house, but you would always pull them away. It's not like, hey, I'm just an older kid or a young, I'm a big goofy 20-year-old. Hey, what y'all doing? Throw me the ball. Laughing and telling jokes or whatever, hanging out till the damn street lights come on. It was none of that. It was always, hey, come on, I got to show y'all something. So Cory can tell you, don't call me Cory, because I don't know. I can't tell you what you were showing them. Call the Wiley Show and tell the Wiley Show, Cory, what it was that you and those young men had to talk about, because I don't know. Tell the Wiley Show who your manager is. Tell the Wiley Show why you came from Chicago and moved to Inglewood, and why it is that you never mentioned to none of these kids about none of these damn TV credits, but you mentioned them about your exploits with women. Were you using that in order to lure them to hang out with you to make yourself look cooler, Cory? I don't know. Ask why, because Wiley's a great interviewer. And I really, really appreciate you taking your time out to do this, and also not even knowing what's going to come out of my mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Because I know originally you wanted to send me stuff in the DM. I said, no, let's do it on the live, because you originally did an interview with Storm Monroe, and everybody was interested in this interview. They're still interested in what he's had the conversation with you. And then one of your members reached out to me, subscribers, and they said, hey, Wiley, you need to jump on this, because my friend was embarrassed. My friend didn't get the interview, like Storm want to charge people for it. So I think that it's only right for you to be able to speak about this publicly, because if it's a lawsuit, you still can get a lawsuit if it's paid or not paid. If Cory going to sue,
my stepmother,
hold
on 1 second. My stepmother is a lawyer. I have a master's degree. I'm like 6 classes away from a doctorate. If Cory wants to come and play over here in these sands, if Cory wants to go talk, if he wants to have a game of wits with me, I'm a housewife. I don't have nothing else to do, and I have insurance. So if he would like to bring that ass over me asking questions, then that would be entirely up to Cory. However, to me, it would make more sense for Cory to call the Wiley Show, since his ass is listening right now, and answer these questions himself.
Because I don't think you said anything that's defamatory towards Cory. You didn't call him gay. You say he was weird. You say he was a vampire. But to me, that's not defamatory. You didn't talk about his pain. You didn't talk. You said he was broke, and during that time, if he didn't have any money, you going back all that time. So my thing is this: the divorce trigger you to speak? I just don't want to put words in your word. Did the divorce trigger you to speak? Or I know you said TikTok, but was it after the divorce?
Yeah, after the divorce, everybody starts talking about him. I see several TikToks going up. I realize that most of these kids out here really believe that this is a couple to look up to. I do not think that Tia's dating habits or habits. I mean, it's the only guy we publicly know of her being with. I don't think this is a good person to ever take any type of relationship advice. And my sister also went on that. What was it called? Love? What? Black Love? My sister went on there too, and she's going through a divorce. Okay. So don't go on Black Love because your relationship probably got about 8 months after that. Quotes. Now you quote that.
Do you feel that, do you feel for Tia because she's a Black woman? Do you feel sorry?
No,
you don't feel sorry?
No, I do not feel that Tia is a Black woman. So you guys, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. Believe that a Black woman is a person a woman who has 2 Black parents. Black is a race. Black is also a classification, a class. Okay, so now there are certain look. If you have never slept on a couch with plastic on it and your ass is 40 years old, you ain't Black. I don't want to hear it. I do not want to hear it.
But if you look at her, to be honest, what does she look like? A Black woman.
She looks like a biracial woman. And you also have to keep in mind that when Sister went on air, it appeared to us as children as this was 2 very light-skinned Black girls who had 2 Black parents. Our child mind did not have the time to understand that. And we're asking our moms, how do we get our hair like that? How do we get our hair like that? And they said, I don't know, we're going to have to get a texturizer. You're going to have to get a perm. It's all these Black girls had to get a perm to get their hair to look like Tia and Tamara in the year 1999. We didn't even have no damn leave-in conditioners all like that. Wasn't no Can-2, wasn't none of that. Everybody had that tight ponytail on the top of their head or whatever, was getting their hair pressed out. And if you wanted your hair to look like theirs, you had to put relaxer in it. So now there is a difference, and Black women deserve to be able to hold that distinction. If you guys don't agree, you're entitled to your opinion. But I feel like any affinity to protect her as a Black woman? Absolutely not, because I don't have no white grandparents to borrow no money.
Okay, not as a Black woman, but as a woman. Do you feel? Because you don't.
Now let me tell you this. This is a very common thing in Los Angeles. That's an excellent question. This is a very, 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 very common thing in Los Angeles for women who are well taken care of to find an attractive man, usually a light-skinned one, and pay their bills. My daddy ain't had a job since the late 1900s because my stepmama doing the same thing. These women, it is very hard. The men in LA, they like to play. They got options, okay? And women in LA are barracudas. And these women got money. They have their power. They've got their titles. Quite frankly, they don't want some man to tell them what to do. And they don't want to be a housewife. They're moving and shaking. And it is convenient to be with a man who is lazy and low ambitious. That's going to keep the house warm. Okay.
Well, I want to say this. So he may have been broke at that time, but he got money now. You know what I'm saying?
He has been really hustling once he realized that if he was ever going to get away from this woman, he would need to have his own money because they have an ironclad prenup. I've seen this game run before. Tia has been trained by somebody. Homegirl seen it done before. This is what they do in LA. This is common. Probably here all day telling stories just like I have seen this movie before.
Right. I hear that. And of course, it's very smart to protect your assets, but he's not a bum today. Do you agree with that?
He's a bum.
Why you say that?
Because he's a bum. He's been a bum. He's a bum.
So you're saying, why you say he's a bum today? I'm not understanding.
Look, I can't even find you there. This is uncommon to not be able to find who this person's manager is. So I don't know what kind of connections you got or whatever that puts you. People put people in movies, word of mouth, and all that kind of stuff like that. Okay. At the same time, I don't look. Like I said, I ain't been watching this man's movies, but the mere fact that when you look at their body language, it doesn't look to me like a loving husband at all. He's usually tense. He's usually irritated with her, and he, they can't get their story straight, and he doesn't cover her really in a way that I feel like he's an embarrassment to her, quite frankly. And so therefore, I feel like that is giving me bum energy because if you're not really into this woman, there's no reason for you to be with her. If you are using your woman at all, then I feel like that makes you a bum. I'm not saying he don't get up now and get his little TV spot to do all that. And don't let these Hollywood people fool you because it's not that hard. It's not that much hard work. It's not. They do a couple days on set. They got craft services. They in the trailer. People do their makeup for them and put their clothes on for them and zip up their damn pants. So do not let these people convince you that they are working like you work. No, you get up every morning and got to take a shower, do everything to yourself, do your own makeup, go to work all day, 30 minutes to scrape the food down your. Do not let these people act like because you've seen them out of a 20-minute episode, you see them for 5 minutes that they work harder than you. They do not. All in between that time, they are luxuriating in the hot tub.
Okay, and I hear you, But I think that the audience, they are saying like, ma'am, you're saying a whole lot of whole lot of nothing, because you're not saying he's gay. You said he's a vampire. Like, where is the tea? How do
Thank
you
you. And
describe
that is
that?
the reason why I am here on the Wiley Show for you for free. Because I don't know that if in good conscience I can allow you to spend $6 for the information, because I never said that it was valuable. I didn't know it was valuable.
Okay. Okay. So you're just saying this, it is definitely getting clout. How much audience did you gain on your YouTube channel and with your TikTok with this? You said 28,000. Is that the only
Okay.
one? Because I know
Wait.
for sure that Storm Road got 127,000 views, which is very smart on his end.
Is my name in that video?
Your name is not in the video. He said that Cory Hardrict shut down the live. We recently reached out to the neighborhood talking to Shade Room. Have they reached out to you, or have you reached out to them to say, hey, I'm Cory ex-neighbor, or did they respond?
No, they have not reached out to me. I have not reached out to them. I did not get any followers or gain from this, because nobody on YouTube knows that I was the neighbor. And as far as TikTok is concerned, my primary audience is people who are interested in politics. This is not, I don't talk about gossip. I talk about politics. I have a master's, like I said, in professional counseling. I might be talking about something related to mental health. We don't even gossip on my TikTok. And on my YouTube platform, the same thing. You know, this woman that reached out to you, this is a very, very powerful spiritual intercessor. Okay, this is like, that's my spirit team. That's the woman who prays for me real good. This woman does not spend her time gossiping. We all feel that on a spiritual level, these people, the way that they reacted and blew that video up, that maybe there may be something. I didn't offer this for any money. I have not paid. Storm and I are not entered in any contract where I am supposed to be getting paid from what's happening on Friday or anything like that. It was not, that was his decision. I said, hey, it's your channel, protect your channel, do whatever it is that you feel is fit. You have it. I don't have no control over what's aired and what's not aired. You're not going to see anything different, though. What I'm telling you, my story is consistent. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to say, I didn't make those titles.
I'm just
That's my
saying right
point.
here is that this ain't nothing for a lawsuit, because first of all, I don't know your income amount, but suing you for saying he's a vampire living with a minor.
He wasn't talking about me. He was talking about whoever it is. He was basically he was reminding whoever he has already sued that lawsuit about. He was reminding somebody about a lawsuit. Okay. That's what he was doing. He squeezed his little brain together and assumed that the people that he has been intimidating are the ones that was getting ready to talk to Storm, and that he was reminding them, hey, we got that lawsuit. But he can't say it like that. That's why he just said lawsuit. Why? And you should have just let it play out, Cory. And this is all I had to say. But you were so nervous about a neighbor saying something in the lawsuit. This is all I had. All I had to say was that you was a vampire. So I don't know what you want to sue me for. You wasn't talking to me.
All right. And I want to thank you for coming on, because this is late, and I just want to hear your side, because I felt that the public is old. Because I feel like it's a duty if a YouTuber say, hey, I have an interview and I'm going to post it on my YouTube channel, they are expecting that content. I think it's a disservice when you say you're going to release it and then you charge the people. Because I feel like it's a bait and switch. I feel like if you are a YouTuber and you do a show, you expect it to be on a YouTube channel. You're not expected it to be paid. Now, unless we had an agreement and we say, hey, we're going to charge you the interview. I'm going to give you 50% off of, each customer, give you half of their money off of each customer. Then I can understand that. But if that wasn't the case, then the audience needs to see it for free.
I honestly would not have even felt comfortable with taking the money at all, because like I said, I don't even know that this is valuable information. I have no idea why there's 100,000 views on there. I told this entire story on my channel and it didn't get any traction at all. Because my audience doesn't give a shit. I care so little about Cory Hardrict that I wouldn't spend $6 to watch myself talk about Cory Hardrict. So I don't know. Now, what do you think about it? Do you mind if I ask you that? Do you feel like there's might be something that is to be uncovered?
So
what are these people hiding?
I think that the whole thing, living with minors, people's mind was like, oh, was he doing something with them? You know how people's minds go, right? Living with minors. And then when you're saying that he was weird, and then all the young men was around. Then there was a young man that his personality just changed when he was around him. So a lot of people conclude it could be like,
But
was
now
it
watch
going somewhere with
this.
a young man?
But watch
You
this,
know,
Wiley. Watch
you know
this.
how people
I
go.
did not make the title to that video, and none of this information is in that video. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, if that is what Storm extrapolated from it, and I'm sure he has his own intuition, like we all do, and if he felt that that was appropriate based on what he heard, you know what I'm saying, then I feel that we cannot discredit that. If we cannot discredit what anybody extrapolates from that, but I think that the fans of Cory, I think that maybe he should explain it to them a little bit, because they might feel a little misled, and they should for sure feel misled about Tia, because Tia claims that her and this boy was not going out nowhere unsupervised, and they waited a year and all that other type of stuff.
Because
But however, we seen y'all hanging out together. Like, why is you lying? Why are you lying about that?
because what gets me is now I'm looking, now my brain is working. I'm like, okay, why did you sue the other neighbor? Like, what did the other neighbor had against you? Was it something sexual? Like, do you know any details about that? Do you want to
Well,
share that?
I highly now there I could tell you what it wasn't. It
Okay.
wasn't sexual. I could tell you that.
Okay. So what was it?
Like I said, he snubbed him, and you know, things happen. My assumption, because he did not go into detail, is that it was a Tory Lanez, August Alsina situation, and Cory would be August Alsina.
Oh, okay. He hit. Okay. So it was an altercation. Is what I'm saying. You using that analogy.
Yeah, Cory started and then turned around and played the victim.
Okay.
Just like August Alsina. What? And then he just attacked me. And then here come the video and you talking crazy. And why is you talking crazy if you can't fight?
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure I give you your props of your YouTube promotion for your YouTube, so they know to follow you, because you say you talk about politics as well. So where can the people find you?
My name is Kiki Green. I just dropped the album. It's on all streaming platforms. Run My Mouth. Okay. And so you can check that out. I'm also on TikTok.
You a singer?
Oh, I do everything.
Oh, can you sing us something before we go, if you feel like it?
What you want to hear?
I don't know. You said you a singer. Some acapella off your record.
Off my record. Shit.
If you can sing acapella or something, okay, people can go and follow you, because you know.
You're right. Listen, I produced every single beat on here. I wrote every single song on this album.
Okay.
And
what's your let me go. Is it on Spotify and stuff?
It's on Spotify. It's on everything.
And what's your name on it? If I can go and listen to it myself.
Kiki Green.
Okay, let me type it in right now. Okay, Kiki Green. Okay. Oh, I see you. And you got the blue check behind you.
I did my artwork. I did everything myself.
Okay.
And you know what? I would love to sing for you, but I done wrote so many damn lyrics on here. I'm trying to tell you, I can't even remember my own words. That's why I was like, what you want to hear?
I see you
something we all know.
Called Run My Mouth,
Run
Make
My
That
Mouth.
Money. Love is Enough. Watch My Comments, You. Okay, I'm gonna listen to it, and then I'm gonna give you my feedback.
Give me the feedback. Okay. Because I have every genre on here. It's a kind of like a throwback to the 90s, where you would have different genres, you know. So you got dance music, you got some soul stuff on there, you got some hip hop on there. You got it because I discovered how to make beats, and so I just started writing my own stuff. And if y'all want one of these songs, you know what I'm saying, if you want it for your artist or something like that, then you can have them. Sure, contact me.
Thank you so very much for coming on, Kiki. Thank you so very.
Thank you very much. And if you need anything else from me, please contact me. Okay, I really appreciate it, and thank you to your audience as well. You guys are all entitled to your opinion, you know what I mean? And I just I did not intend to get you guys super excited and salivated that I had some somebody's deep, dark, dirty secrets. I'm just trying, you know what I mean? That's all this is what I have to say. This is all I ever said.
Well, thank you so very much for calling.
All right.
For coming on. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. You guys, that was amazing conversation that we had, but I have to be honest, nothing she says lead for a lawsuit. This could have came out for free. What was said out of that 53-minute conversation that could lead to a lawsuit? Now, if she said, well, Wiley, I'm a neighbor. I looked at, he was humping a man. Then I could say, okay, all right, that's some tea. But no, this didn't lead to no lawsuit. I think Storm, which was very strategic of him, when Cory said lawsuit, that gave Storm the ammunition to say Cory took down the live. I get it. Good promotion and everything. But once you listen to what she said, nothing for a lawsuit. This will be a waste of time to sue somebody for that. And the voicemail, really, that's not any tea because Missy Elliott was an adult. Cory was an adult. But the tea is if he shared the voicemail to kids and teenagers, that could be some tea, but it would be more juicy if him and Missy Elliott was getting it on. He recorded it and was sharing it with and letting kids look at it. Then that would be a little bit juicy and stuff like that. But what she said really was not laid for no lawsuit. She's just sharing her story. She's from LA. That's what she was living at, and she shared a story about Tia. And so that's the way it is about that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna drop the link and let some people whoever want to come on and say what they got to say. But this, and so I want people to understand that someone reached out to me from Kiki Green's camp, and they said, "Hey, I know the neighbor." I said, "Okay, come on the show." And the neighbor, Kiki Green, Cory neighbor, former neighbor, was DMing me stuff. I said, "Hold it, don't DM me nothing else. Just come on the show. Let's have a natural conversation." And she reached out to me when an hour ago, and I was live. First of all, I was shopping on Fashion Nova, and I said, "Hey, come on the show." Whether it's tea or not tea, that's up to the audience. So now it's a time for the audience to give their side. So we're going to be bringing somebody on to speak on it. Zaydon, you're live.
Hey, Wiley. Hey. Oh my gosh, Miss Kiki Green. I don't know. I don't think that she's telling the truth all the way. On one minute she's saying has a master's and she's a doctorate and she has politics and she only talks about this. Then on the other side, she's a rapper, recording artist, but she can't even sing one of her songs on the Wiley Show. And then she's so dramatic with everything, like Cory came through the house, she was what the vampires in the building. It's giving me vampire from the Bronx or something. It's just like it is what it is. And it's like I don't know what Storm Monroe, why was he afraid to drop the thing? Because honestly, when he first said that he had an interview with the neighbor, I didn't believe him. I thought he was gaslighting because it's like you say you have this interview, but you're not going to drop it. And then he's like, well, I got to get a contact with a lawyer and make sure it's okay to drop this and stuff. I don't, I just didn't believe him. Not until you came on your show and have her on here. Now, Miss Kiki Green, she's saying a whole lot of everything, but saying a whole lot of nothing at the same time. It's just like talking in circles and talking in riddles. Well, I don't know if he's gay or allegedly, and I don't know about this, but I was 14 in the blocks in the neighborhood, and we were circling the block, and then people's all over. It's like, what? It's giving me delusion. It's giving me a little bit of tension. And she says, well, I got 26,000 followers on TikTok, and I do all this, and everything's grand, and I could Cory. I was just like, oh my goodness. But it's giving me a whole lot of nothing. And the voicemail, until I see some concrete evidence of Missy Elliott saying that she wanted Cory Hardrict, I don't believe it. It's all gossip and lies and stuff. So
I don't think Missy Elliott want a man. So I'm like,
no, she don't. That's a whole lie.
I'm like, really?
That's a whole lie, Wiley. And what the thing is, Cory could have been making that lie up because you know how people in Hollywood, because I live in LA. I moved out here 5 years ago. I'm in Hollywood. I know what the Hollywood, and people lie and so that they know people and they do this because they want to get their attention. And when you have kids who are 13 to 16 years old, and they want to hear about some celebrities, all you gotta do is say, oh, I know this, and I can say this, and I can say that. But at the end of the day, she's just saying a whole lot of nothing. Miss Kiki Green, come on now, Miss Kiki Green. Tell us something that we can actually, some concrete evidence. Tell us the facts. You over here giving this whole dramatic, like she's on a stage on Broadway trying to echo out 10,000 yards away. It's like, just come on the Wiley Show, give your thoughts and opinions, but all this extra commentary. Honestly, I didn't believe her. I don't believe her. I don't believe that. Now I do believe that Tia did meet Cory Hardrict at the bus stop. That part I do believe. That part I can say
I can think you believe that, but how many women you know that deal with bombs? Look at Tasha K. Employee met a bomb. So I can believe that if the guy looked good enough, a woman, that's their job to nurture, clean up. I guess Cory, hell, I would have picked him up from the bus stop and say, "Come live with me. I'll clean you up." So.
And Wiley, but this is the thing though, Wiley. Tia and Tamara, they were military brats. They were raised in a military home. They were in Texas. They're military brats. So their whole childhood bringing was very conservative. When they got of age, her parents actually had to kick Tia and Tamara out of the house when they got 21 or whatever. So they go out, get your own apartment because they were, tired of living with them. I think that when Tia was old of age, the first guy that she saw that she can get some peen from, she just jumped on. To me, I didn't like Cory with Tia. I don't think that he's a very attractive guy. I think that he has no alibis. I don't think that he's super attractive to me. I think she could have done a whole lot better. And it is what it is. But Miss Kiki Green, I'm gonna need you to come a little bit better, come a little bit more facts. And the thing is, she's trying to swirl around and say, "Well, I didn't say this and I didn't say that, and it's the Wiley Show and Storm Monroe and I have to everything." And I think it was just too Wiley. It was giving me, it was delusional and it was giving me false tea.
Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you. All right, so we having people giving their opinion, and we definitely gonna move on to the other person as well. And we still have Kiki backstage, so if she want to respond, we will give her time to respond. Go ahead, Sister Conservative, you live.
Hello, Wiley.
Hi.
See, Wiley, let me tell you something. See, it's women like that who just want to see other women not be happy. I don't care if she picked this man up from the homeless shelter. Wiley, they built something together. He's not a bum now. He's not living on the street. It sounds to me like you're jealous of Tia. See, this has nothing to do with the husband, Wiley. I think she wanted this man, and she wanted to be Tia. If Tia wanted to take care of her husband, Wiley, they've been married all these years, and he falls on hard times. She has the right to do it. Sometimes we go through things in marriage, Wiley, and we go file for divorce, but we do not have to sign those papers. They went in, if they go and file for divorce, and he tried to tell his wife, because that's still his wife, that he loved her on a picture on Instagram, girl, that is none of your business. See, let me tell you something about these California hood rats, Wiley. They don't like black love. Those are the facts. Yes, dear. Yes.
Are you married, ma'am?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so am I. Is your husband black?
Yes.
Okay, do you have two black parents?
And if he's not, then it don't matter.
Do you? Okay, well, see, listen here, dear. This is the reason why on my platform, I usually talk about mental health and politics, because it's a different class of audience. And I am not, I cannot help you.
We ain't gossip. We ain't talking about no politics, and we ain't talking about no mental health. You are a clout chaser. You come on here running your mouth about this woman married, saying that he was your neighbor, and he's not even your neighbor now. I would understand if you went and saw this man outside when you look out the door.
Excuse me.
Okay, go ahead.
Excuse me, dear.
Respond.
Okay, everything I'm telling you is about what I witnessed as a 14-year-old, not as a grown woman. I was not attracted to any grown men at 14 years old, which is why I found him peculiar. And I had not seen any teenagers actually hang out with grown men before. So that's why this is so peculiar to me, okay? I did not think that, ma'am, can you calm down, sweetie? Can you calm down? Can you calm down?
Sister Conservative, let Kiki respond, and then we're going to let you respond, sister. Go ahead, Kiki.
Thank you very much.
Go ahead, Kiki.
Okay, I was talking about this with my platform and how strange I thought it was. A lot of them felt like something in their spirit. They felt like something was strange, and they reached out to Storm. He asked me to talk and tell him what I know. We did that off camera. He edited it and edited it and left in what he thought was relevant, took out what he thought wasn't relevant or might be too damaging to people or whatever. And that video, for whatever reason, has gotten more reach with less information than what I just gave you than this. So this has got blown way out of proportion. I did not tell 100,000 people to watch it. Okay. It's being sold for $5.99. And I don't know if you think this is worth, this is a $5.99 conversation, because I don't think that it is. So this is the reason why I'm on the Wiley Show, and Wiley is doing you guys a a favor of giving you a preview before so that you can make an informed decision. Okay? That's what's happening.
Storm Monroe is a clout. We know why Storm Monroe is selling this Wiley, because he's a clout chaser. When that man sent that DM saying lawsuit, it was just promotion to get the people to be like, oh, well, what is she talking about? What is she talking about? You said you have not been this man's neighbor since you was 14 years old. How do you know what's going on in their marriage now? That's all I'm speaking to. This woman can love her husband, and
okay, I'm sure she does. I'm sure she does. But that is a very foolish woman, in my opinion. And so if your dating habits are like that, I could just imagine, what's going on in your household. I don't know. I am being taken care of. I am a housewife, dear. I'm not interested or coveting after anybody who has to financially even go 50-50 with their husband. That's just not my mentality. That's not where I am, dear. Okay,
ma'am, you don't know Tia. You don't know.
I don't know her.
Cory.
I don't know her.
You don't know her,
and I'm not interested in her acting either. So I don't pay her any because
you're not in their household.
The whole internet is talking about their marriage. The whole internet is talking about their marriage.
All this extra information that
okay, well, it's not my fault that you're jealous of me, and so therefore it's clouding your ability to listen to what I'm saying.
I think that Sister Conservative, you're coming out the energy that Storm presented, that it was going to be this juicy tea spilling interview, like I thought, because that's how Storm kind of painted it. And I thought it was going to be that Cory was sleeping with men, sleeping with minors, smashing Missy Elliott doing stuff with minors. That's what I thought it was. But then once Kiki started to speak and started to give her thoughts, I'm like, it wasn't that. So I don't think
Wiley, because it's clickbait. Storm Monroe clickbaited the whole YouTube. That's all it was. It was clickbait.
And so you shouldn't be mad at Kiki, because Kiki just gave her side. You shouldn't be mad at Kiki, because Kiki just gave her side.
She's speaking on these people's marriage like she known them last week. She don't know this man. You coming out here putting out this information.
I don't like him. I don't like him. Fuck him and Tia and their marriage. And you too. Have a nice day.
You don't know him.
All right, so I'm gonna bring some other people on. Thank you, Sister Conservative. Thank you.
Goodbye, Wiley.
Okay, all right. So hold on. All right, all right. Okay, hold on. Let me get somebody else on.
I'm not getting ready to.
Joy and Pain. Is that you?
Joy and Pain.
Okay. So what do you have to say about all of this? I know you've seen the title. This you're live with Kiki Green, the former neighbor of Cory Hardrict, the soon-to-be ex-husband of Tia. What do you have to say about all of this, Joy and Pain?
No. Stop, Wiley.
That's your name. That's your name. Your name was Joy and Pain.
Oh God. Okay. I'm gonna get it together. Okay, so Kiki is still on the panel.
Yes, Kiki is.
I'm here. How you doing?
Okay.
Good. How are you?
I'm all right.
Yeah, that's kind of my sentiments as far as what you said, Wiley. Like, people going hard at Kiki, and she's just telling y'all what happened. She's not even detailing what their marriage was about. She's detailing how, like, prior, like 16, 20 years old, those type of situations, how this dude just showed up out of nowhere and then moves in, from my understanding, with a 16-year-old.
Correct. That's a fact.
And then somehow, I don't even know where the mother was, but moves in.
She was at work, and she worked nights. If I know it for a fact, I'm gonna say it. We all know we've been playing this game long enough with these people on here. If it's a fact, I can say it. And, I'm sorry. 1 second. I just want to say, people are asking, why am I mad? Okay, he has been intimidating people on that block. Number one, none of us like him. I'm not the only one who feels this way. We all feel he's a creep. We all think he's weird, and none of us like him. Okay, so it's just like, this is a known thing that nobody likes his ass and that he's weird. And so I think that's why he left out a lot of details, because he doesn't want people digging into his past for some reason. Okay.
Can I speak or no?
Oh, yeah, sure. That's all I had to say. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, it sounds as if Cory has left out a part of his life, which is kind of important. If you're moving, it sounds to me that you said that he just showed up out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. And he didn't move in with the teenager initially. He had other roommates. And then when they just upped and left him for, I don't know why, but they had all just abandoned him. All the roommates. All the
Wow.
roommates got
So
up and left him.
okay, so he moves in. The 16-year-old was acting one way, but then after meeting Cory, he's a totally different 16-year-old, or
We
he's a
don't see
totally
him no
different.
more. We don't talk to him on the phone no more. Not just me, the girls, the guys, neither. He stops coming around.
Okay. Okay. So, Cory, can I go back to the hood? So Cory was in the hood, right?
Right.
And you were saying that he, just was hanging out in the hood. Okay, I know you can't say for a fact, but are you insinuating that he was kind of like picking up, look like being acquainted with little boys? Or I mean,
They were not little boys. They were teenagers from the ages of 12 to 16. And they were a friend group. And he picked, there's a certain group that hung out with him and a certain group that lagged back. Okay. But the thing about it is that it was just so strange. There's teenage men all up and down the block. There was a teenager that was his age, closer, 18, out of high school. He didn't befriend him and show him the voicemails. He felt more in common with them. So maybe his development is just arrested. I don't know. But I think it's
yeah, I'm
strange
not.
behavior.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to get clarification because
Yeah, me too.
here's the thing. I actually believe what you're saying, and so contrary to some of the people in the comments and stuff like that, I actually believe what you're saying. And so it sounds to me that, it was some funny moving going on, and then we still like kissing a tombstone of somebody that was supposed to be your mother, but the name is different in articles. See, I caught that. You see what I'm saying? So to
Right.
me, it's like something's not right. Like, does Tia really know this dude? That's the question. But and apparently she didn't care. I mean, if she's picking them up from bus stops and everything. So that's
And
kind
then
of
let's go by
questionable.
their story. Don't you find it strange that their story is that Tamara is the one that liked him and Tamara is the one that exchanged phone numbers with him? So then why did you start dating him if he was
Hmm.
talking to Tamara? Y'all look the doggone same. So hell, my story is better than theirs. That's why I don't understand why they were.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. And see, Wiley, you had a show not too long ago, or maybe it was, I don't know whose show, but I think it was yours, Wiley, where people were saying in the comments that there was some jealousy between the sisters. And at the time, I really didn't even think about that. But based on what Kiki is saying, it sounds like they're not as close as they appear to be, or maybe there's some sort of rivalry going on. But I mean, that's just digging too deep into it.
Well, can I ask you
Um,
another question? Do you think it's
mhm.
strange that Tia announced her divorce the day before Tamara's book came out?
Yes, and that's what I was saying. There was a lot of people when she did announce it. There were a lot of people saying that, she wanted to get more shine from her sister, or she was jealous of her sister. And at the time, I didn't even think about that. I didn't even like, you know, um, I didn't put two and two together. And maybe I'm off base, but there is something going on between those two girls. I think picking that opportune time to even outshine your sister, even if that wasn't your intention, it was the wrong damn time, because y'all not divorcing today. You see what I'm saying? So,
Mhm. I feel you on
but
that.
that's it. Yeah,
All
no,
right.
I
Thank
mean,
you, Joanne Payne. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna bring hold on one second. I was gonna go to Zayda next, but let me bring Monique up. Okay. I don't know if this is a comedian or not. Monique, are you there?
Hello, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead.
Um, I just want to make a few comments. I'm a little concerned, one, because this person cannot show their face. And I'm not sure, Kiki, is there a reason why you're not showing your face? Is it
Yeah,
the five
because
o'clock shadow?
I would sleep all day and I don't feel like doing my hair and all that other stuff. I don't. So, it's
Okay,
late.
well,
Wiley and I were just able to connect time wise. We
Yeah,
had
this was just really rough. Like She hit me up hour. She said do it, and I
Well,
said let's go
Kiki,
now.
Yes, dear.
I don't think you should. If you're saying it's because you don't look good, I don't believe it. I think it's because of your 5
Okay,
o'clock
you
shadow.
dear. Can you talk about something relative
Um,
to the title, please, dear, and not worried about what
sure,
I look like? Because I can
sure, I
guarantee I look
can.
better than you without this wig on.
And see, that's a trans.
I can
That's a
guarantee
trans
I look better
woman.
than you. And I tell you what, if I'm a trans
That's
woman
a
who has given
trans
birth,
woman.
if I'm a
Hold
trans
y'all.
woman who has
I
given birth,
knew
please
it.
call Newsweek right
I
now so I
knew
can get,
it.
please, I
I
want my
knew
cover
it.
of Newsweek
This
if I'm
is
a trans woman who has
someone
given
who
birth,
wants
because I should be the most
attention.
famous woman on the planet.
This is a trans woman that is looking
Can you
for
talk about,
attention
do you
that
have
has
opinion about the topic,
has
Remington?
nothing
Monique, can I
else
say
to
this?
do.
It doesn't matter if she
If I'm
was
trans or not. What are you saying
right.
about, are you transphobic?
Yes,
Are
it
you
does.
transphobic,
It
darling?
does
Do you have a
matter.
problem with the trans community?
It
Do
does
you have a
matter
problem
because
with the
it goes
trans
into
community,
mental
darling?
health.
Trans women are women, darling. Do you have a problem with the trans? Are you transphobic? Is that what you were saying? Can we cancel her, Wiley?
What I'm phobic about is people who have mental illness and are not getting help.
Do
Because you're
you have
talking
any
about
I have a
Cory
master's
Hardrict.
degree in professional counseling. Are you qualified to diagnose me? Because I'm qualified to diagnose you, dear. And right now I'm seeing some oppositional defiance disorder because you cannot even discuss the topic. You just want to call here and be combative, dear. This is not a beauty contest, ma'am. We are
No,
talking
it's
about
not
Cory Hardrict and
combative,
his
but you're a
suspicious
character.
marriage.
You're a
Because I am an
character
entertainer,
that's
darling. I have
attempting
an
to
album streaming
defame
all
someone
over.
that you
I
do
have
not know.
33,000
That's what it is. And you
followers.
can
I have a
loud talk and
channel.
you can
Oh, okay.
fast talk.
All
It
right. Well,
doesn't make
homegirl don't
you
want to talk
right.
about the topic, and
It
it's not fair
doesn't
to the other
make you
callers. Do you have
right.
other callers?
You
Because
are
it's not
sitting up
fair.
there
I'm
defaming
sorry.
someone that
I
you
hope
do
I
not
don't like him.
know.
This
You
is my
don't
opinion. I
know,
don't
and
care
this
about
is
him being
all
defamed.
games.
And
You
you know what I
don't
do
like
have a
him, but
problem
you
with,
don't
though?
know him.
Okay,
You
dear.
don't
Well,
like him, but you don't know
I
him.
don't like him.
One second.
My
I don't
point
like
was
him because of
proven.
what
One
I
second.
don't
I
like
want to
him
make. Okay,
because
go
he's a
ahead.
bad
Continue.
influence.
Okay,
I don't like him
Monique.
because I believe that these young men were
My
on a
point was
right path
proven.
and he
This
set
is
them on the
someone
wrong
who's
path. And
looking
then
for attention.
at the
Someone
very
with the
least, y'all,
5
look,
o'clock
okay, how about this?
shadow
How about
that's
this?
looking
Okay, that's
for
fine.
attention
Let
that
me ask you a
doesn't know
question.
Cory.
Let me ask you a question. If somebody came and lived with you when they had absolutely nothing and you saved them after they were abandoned by their roommates or else they
That's
were going to
what
be
it
if they were
is.
going to be on the streets, right? If you took somebody in off the streets and they became rich and famous and they never ever mentioned what you did for them publicly, how would that make
You
you
did
feel?
not take anyone off the
How would that
streets.
make you
You
feel,
don't
ma'am?
know
I sure didn't. I was
anything.
14.
You're just taking
Let Monique respond.
speculation, assumption. You're just
Go ahead,
taking
Monique.
speculation and assumption and trying to make people go to your TikTok and trying to make you. It's almost as if you're trying to be a blogger.
I'm doing
But
all
you're
of that,
sitting up
ma'am.
here
You are
talking
absolutely
about you
correct.
have a
Do you have
master's.
any other statements?
So you're using other
You're right.
people.
Thank you, ma'am. Anything
That's
else?
what you're
You
doing.
know everything, sweetie.
So
Okay,
it's
baby.
proven. You
All
don't
right.
even know anything
Okay.
about Cory
Okay.
Hardrict or
Bye-bye.
Tia. You're just using
Bye-bye.
this event and other people that you think are gonna make you trend. And it's actually sick. And for you to say that you have a master's in counseling, yet you're up here playing on Beyonce's internet and Wiley's YouTube, you should be ashamed. I want you to get help. That's what I want you to do. You don't have a master's. You don't have anything but that 5 o'clock shadow and wig on your head. Get it
All right.
together,
And so
man.
Monique, we're gonna go to Zaina. Hold on one second. I want to make sure. Okay. And then there we go. Zaina, you know, Kiki, what's the question or comment?
Hey, so Kiki, I got a couple of questions for you
Sure.
because it's a little bit confusing for me. I
Can
want to
you just
know.
do me one favor, honey? Because we don't know each other, okay? And I don't have no beef with none of y'all. I do this all the time. I'm expecting for you guys to have tons of questions. Ask me a question and I'll answer. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on here to be, this ain't drag race and all that other type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, no.
I'm chilling. All right.
Of course, no. I just got some questions. My first question
Sure.
is, what is your vendetta against Cory Hardrict?
Okay, let me explain it. The vendetta against him, because he has been intimidating those neighbors and he has not mentioned that they helped him. And I also think that he's creepy and I really don't like how he ruined my summer. You know, you remember when you were a teenager, when you went out and the friends you hung out with, the places that you went, the things that you did. Okay. And this grown man came up and made the damn whole thing weird. And it's been weird ever since. And every time he pops up in front of me on TV or something, I think back to that time and I still have questions. And when this whole thing came out, and people started talking about them in their past, I was hearing things that I had never, ever, ever heard before. And although I avoided as much contact with him, I also have been in communication with people who had more contact with him who feel the exact same way. So I hope that answers your question.
But how did he make your summer weird though? What did he do?
Because he came over there and he would drag away the boys that we would have, the boys we was taught to look. He took the cute one and we ain't see him no more.
So basically, you was being.
We wouldn't have been over there. Hell, we had to go find some other boys to hang out with because he took the one, the damn cute one.
So basically, you was being a little thought over there in Inglewood.
All right. Well, this is what you want to do, dear. This is what y'all have to do. Okay. You didn't talk to boys.
Okay. So this is my next question.
You talked to boys when you was a teenager. What's the problem?
Okay. So this is my next question for you, Kiki. Why did you come on the Wiley Show and be so dramatic? Why?
Okay, let me answer to you. You're okay. So now I know it seems dramatic to you guys. You know, I am an entertainer. I have been an entertainer since I was 5 years old. Number one. Number two, what got me so excited, you know, if you guys have purchased the tickets for the Storm Monroe show, you will see a different energy because it was presented in a very, he just was asking questions. He wasn't accusatory. He did a very professional interview. And I responded to him in the tone that I'm speaking to you now. What has made this more exciting and made this more dramatic is the response that he got to a video about a video. Okay. And now people are purchasing tickets for it. It has blown. I don't know why it's all a big deal and blown out of proportion either. I have my own platform and I have never spoken about Tia or Cory in the entire 6 years that I have been doing a platform. I know insider information about a lot of celebrities that would be potentially damaging to them. And I have never used any of that on any of my platforms to make money.
Why don't you come out and say it now? My other question for you too is, why do you not consider Tia and Tamara black? I mean, yeah, they're
I answered my question, right? Because they're biracial, and I think that I think white lives matter. That's why.
That doesn't make any sense. You're
white lives matter. Their white parents and their white side deserves to be acknowledged as well because white lives matter, like Kanye said. Do you have any other questions?
Okay, by the end of the day, if they're against a mob of KKK clan, they're gonna say, "Oh, you're half white. We can't go against you." They're gonna consider them black.
Well, that's fine, dear. You know what? I've never encountered the KKK in my entire life.
Another black woman. How long have you been married?
That's fine, dear.
How long have you been married? How long have you been married, Kiki? Answer the question.
Can you hold on 1 second and let me answer one question at a time? Okay. I have been married for 6 years. I went and took my ass to Hampton University, 3,000 miles away from my house, and got my degree in media management before I went back to Inglewood and went and got me jobs at MySpace, at MTV Networks. I worked for Fox Interactive Media. Then I went and got my master's degree in professional counseling. Then I came to Las Vegas and had the #1 radio show in all of Las Vegas on Sunday mornings. Do not
so
listen.
You still live in the hood.
Listen here.
So you still live in the hood.
What are you talking about?
Listen
here. Listen here.
I'm delusion, Kiki. Delusional.
Okay. Listen here, dear.
Delusion.
Listen here, dear.
Are you hearing yourself?
Are you
I
done?
got the #1 radio show in Las Vegas, and I got a master's.
I am not on that. What I'm telling you is that I had a life before I got married. Hold on, let me finish. Because this is why I'm not gonna stand. Okay, I am a grown woman. I am a professional woman. I am a housewife. I am 38 years old. Listen to me.
Go ahead, Keith.
Listen to me, little boy. I am a grown ass woman. And I had a life and a professional career and paid all my own bills by myself without my mommy and my daddy and none of these niggas before I became a wife. And I made sure I knew how to take care of myself in a household and what was indicative of running a household before I got in a relationship so that I would know if the man was even doing it right. My husband covers me and I don't have to do a damn thing. So my degrees are sitting up in the closet and I can sit up here and talk to you all night long because I don't have work tomorrow. So what you're not going to do is sit here in any type of way and insinuate that I am not qualified to tell you anything. Now, if you have a question, then I will give it to you.
The degrees are in the closet because all the
on my TikTok, it's on there.
Girl, Kiki, bye.
Okay.
I want to ask you a question, Kiki. Where is your? Because I want to follow you on TikTok. For me, I'm not going to bash you. I don't know.
I don't care. Here, I'll send you one right here, and it got the degrees in it. It's so funny because I just had to post it the other day. What's your name on TikTok?
It's the Let me make sure I get the right one.
I see it right here.
Yeah, the Wiley Show. It's a Wiley Show. They got my logo on there. And I got 159 followers. So y'all follow me on TikTok. because I don't want to bash you because number one, I can't
You
say
said on your platform, where is the neighbor? You're the only person that I heard say that.
Yeah, I said where's the neighbor because your story deserved to be heard. And then the whole thing when Cory reached out when he said lawsuit, that would make me where's the neighbor, where's the neighbor? And I didn't think it was gonna. I didn't think this was gonna happen. I'm like, wow, I didn't think it was gonna happen. And you came on. I didn't question about your accolades. I didn't question. I said you're the neighbor. Let's bring you on the show because you deserve to be heard. Now, whether this is worth $5.99, that's up to the public, right?
That's up to the public.
I don't know what you and Storm actually discussed doing that.
We didn't discuss any of that.
Okay, discuss your thing, but with you didn't. I'm still want to say this because people are saying, "Why would you make it suit?" You didn't say nothing to fame, Cory. You was roasting and gagging, but nothing serious. What can he put in the court paper? Oh, she called me a vampire. Like that would be a waste of court's time. We have Sister Conservative back. So I don't know if she.
I'm not doing with Sister Conservative. She come on here, I'm off of here, and that's not fair. Get somebody else to turn. Listen here, I don't have. This is why I don't do gossip on my channels because of the type of some of the characters that it attracts. You know what I'm saying? And how you mad at me because I am talented? I told you I came from LA. I have been in the entertainment industry before I went and got education.
Yeah, and then I think what people are missing about your story here, you were 14 years old, not
the
41.
whole time.
You were a child, a teenager doing that experience, and you're saying, "Hey, I'm telling you the story about Cory." And I think a lot of people have to listen to what you said to respond because you're not an adult in this narrative. You're an adult now, but when you were young at 14, you wasn't an adult.
So Cory said out of his mouth, he said the neighbors, plural, across the street never liked me. Why didn't the children like you across the street? Because you're not talking about none of the adults. I guarantee you that you ain't going to be able to find an adult that know any damn thing other than that young man's mama because he wasn't talking to no damn adults. That's all I'm saying. That's the facts.
Do you feel like people, and I want to say this humbly, that when you're sharing your story, that they feel like, oh, she's bitter and oh, she's that? Well, what I get out of the situation, you're just talking about you ain't too much care for Tia. You ain't too much care for Cory.
You know what? I never had an opinion about them one way or another, but what has my opinion about Tia is new. You know, before I just was like, okay, whatever. I actually prefer Tamara because I always thought she had more personality. She was the funny one. She was the quirky one that I felt like, you know, I identify more with watching the show. If you're asking me. Okay. So now other than that, what has made me, if it sounds like I don't like her, no. Once I sat there and watched that Black Love, that 40 minutes of struggle love story about how they got together, I was like, no, this is not a woman that needs to be giving anybody any type of relationship advice because that is not how you do it. You have to take care of yourself and survive on your own and know what it is. And then you go and find somebody who can match that. So you don't have all that damn resentment and all that. And then on top of that, there are a lot of women who aid and abet creepy men by giving them the money and stuff that they were otherwise would not have had. And that gives them power. So now that's one thing, a woman that has money, but these women know that there's a certain power that comes with being a man. So now he went from just being a young man doing whatever he was doing to now a man with access, money, and power that could potentially make him more, you know, that's has put him in a position to be able to threaten people who otherwise would just be able to whoop his ass and move on with their life. That's not fair. And I don't like that he did that to my friend. So if you guys, why I don't like him, that's why I don't like his ass. Whatever altercation y'all got into, you should have been man enough about it, August Alsina, and let it rot. Instead of getting on here crying all and then you want to call lawyers and all of that because you wasn't worried about none of that when you was popping off to somebody who could whoop your ass. That don't make no sense.
Oh, you're right there.
And it's like, look how immature this is for people to be all up in my business. The only reason why we're here is because y'all was all up in Cory and Tia's business. You thought you wanted some gossip? Well, here's the damn gossip. Now you gossip. There you go.
Yeah. Well, thank you so very much for coming back on, Kiki. Thank you.
And I tagged you on TikTok, okay? So I put the video with the degrees in it. So go look at it so you can see for real that my news is real.
Okay. You say you had tagged me on TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay.
You follow me back then and we'd be able to message each other. And I also have other witnesses. The other witnesses, like I said, these people, all of us, my age group, we are all now adults. You know, they have families, they have jobs, they have careers, they interact with celebrities and all that kind of stuff in their workplace. And they don't want to be out here talking about this. Okay. So therefore, I'm speaking up for my friend group. I'm speaking up for that block. I'm speaking up for that neighborhood and for other neighborhoods where people come from other places to go to Hollywood. Hollywood people are weird. All of them, and they're all doing weird stuff. And then they bring it into our community. They come into our community doing things they don't have no business. They come into our community flaunting their jewelry, flaunting their money. They come in our business and they come into the Black community, and it has a negative ripple effect. I have yet to see it turn out positive for anybody. So, that's a whole nother issue. And those are the type of levels that we speak on my platform. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if these people over here is not used to that. Y'all just used to people just, gossiping and that kind of stuff. And that's why I don't do that.
Okay.
That's why.
All right. Thank you so very much. And we
All right.
definitely going to be bringing you back on, Kiki, because if I get served with a lawsuit, we'll bring you back on to talk about
Hey, how about this? I double dog dare. Because I would love to go to court because I know where those boys are now. Yeah, I found them. So how about this? I double dog dare you with mustard and ketchup on top to press me, Wiley, Storm, or that other young man. I double dog dare you. How about that?
All right. Thank you so very much, sister, coming back on, Kiki. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Good night. Okay. We have Sister Conservative that is backstage, and she wants to say something. Sister Conservative, you're back. How are you doing, sis?
Okay, Wiley, this is all I'm trying to say. Wiley, she worked at MySpace. She went to Harvard. She got this. She's a housewife now. She worked for the governor. Whatever she does, she's this upstanding woman. And you are putting this man out there like that because he ruined your summer by taking away boys that you was crushing on when you was 15. She don't know this man, Wiley. She don't know this man. And all she gonna do is just try to get you caught up in some mess to get you lawsuit. Don't get sued by some clout chaser neighbor who was his neighbor.
For me, we didn't say anything. I didn't say anything, or she didn't say anything that was defamatory
because
towards Cory.
And she didn't say anything that was defamatory, Wiley, because she don't know anything. That's the whole point of the matter. She don't know nothing. Storm Monroe, this clickbait. He was clickbaiting. This is clickbait. And I guess they tried to do something with he took the boys away and that we was crushing on or whatever. What do you mean? Maybe they didn't like you. And I see why they don't like you. Maybe he didn't like you. So he told his friends, well, we don't like this woman. Let's go ahead. I mean, because she's going to be a mess in the future. But you don't went to Harvard. You don't work for MySpace. You don't work for Facebook. And now you're up here talking about marriage that you don't know. Lady, get a life. She's a clout chaser, Wiley. And that's all. I'm not going to call back. But this woman is a clout chaser.
All right. Thank you so very much. Also, too, we want to thank everybody that was coming on and saying what they had to say. And of course, Storm is going to air the interview that he had with the neighbor. The reason why we reached out to the neighbor because I was interested. I was on the phone with the Neighborhood Talk. I was on the phone with the Shade Room. I was on the phone with Hollywood Unlocked and just, emailing them and talking to them. And I kept saying, I want to speak to the neighbor because I thought they had the neighbor information. They didn't. And I just said it. And the lady reached out to us and she said, I know the neighbor. And I said, okay, let's bring the neighbor on. Would I pay $5.99 for this? No. I will have to watch it and consume it for free. I would be pissed to pay $5.99, $1.99, but I would be pissed off. I would feel like I was catfish if I were to be paying for something like this because it wasn't no strong tea. I would be pissed off. I'd have felt like I was bamboozled if I paid $5.99 for this because it wasn't worth it at all. And so because it was so interesting, I'm like, Storm, release it. He said, well, I got to talk to my lawyer about it. And I'm like, this? I didn't have to consult to none of my, what do they call them, lawyers? None of my Legal Shield attorneys. I didn't even send it to my Legal Shield attorney and say, my Legal Shield attorney, hey, can I interview the neighbor? She going to say he's a vampire. Will I get sued? I wouldn't even waste and pay my Legal Shield attorney that way. Okay, and people are saying you're doing a Tasha K move on Storm. No, I'm not. This is not a Tasha K move on Storm. And I want to say that because I said I want to speak to the neighbor. You can go to ABC, you can go to CNN, you can go to MSNBC. You all are so small-minded. You all feel like if one YouTuber get an exclusive, nobody else can talk to them. That does not make sense. If you're not on a contract, now one thing that Tasha K does do, Tasha K put her people on a contract, and in the contract, in the contract, it states that you cannot do another interview about this matter for 30 days. Some people even get 60 days where they can't speak on the same topic, and they sign the contract, right? We don't do that over here. I asked the neighbor, I said, do you have a contract with Storm Monroe? She did not have a contract with Storm Monroe. So she's open to interview for whomever she want to interview with. Okay? I'm just saying. It is just the truth. So when people say, oh, you're going to get served with a lawsuit, all of this, who cares? We will reach out to our legal attorneys. We will send it over and we will deal with it. Who gives it? That does not scare me, lawsuit. Child, please. I will sleep good with a lawsuit. Okay, now, I don't know if anybody else want to, I don't know if they send this to Cory or not, but Cory, you shouldn't be worried about what she said. IG, is that you?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I want to make sure you're loud and clear because I'm like, IG, I never heard that before. But go ahead, man.
Hey,
Go ahead, IG.
No, you're fine. I'm a little confused because I'm not sure if she's trying to insinuate that he's a child molester and doesn't want to come out and say it. I mean, because that's a heck of a thing to say about somebody and beat around the bush. I mean, are they or are they not?
Because it so for how I got it that she was alluding that he was gay and a child molester. She was alluding to that. Or she may not have but the public will be like, I think she's alluding to child molestation. I think she's alluding to that because I remember when Tasha K, when she was talking about Storm Monroe, she said, I didn't want my son around. He was so weird. And when I was a child, I was molested. I'm like, wait a minute, you kind of alluding that Storm Monroe is a molester here.
Yep,
so
I remember. I agree.
You remember that? So yes. I think when she was talking to the public, and maybe even Cory noticed, they may think that he been messing around with some teenage boys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I got. That's what I thought. Ma'am, I thought that's what the tea was gonna be.
That's what I'm thinking, because that's what it's coming off as, that he messing with boys. And if that's the case, why didn't nobody report it? If this is what
that could be common. If you're in a poor, uneducated area, broke, poor, there ain't too much concern about going to no cops. True. You know what I'm saying? Just like what happened when R. Kelly was molested by a neighbor. I guess the neighbor paid his mom or paid some people and he got away with it. So during that era, black folks, they rarely want to report people doing something in their own household rather than a neighbor.
That's true. But somebody said something interesting in the comments, and they said, maybe the boys was runners.
Oh, maybe he was a drug dealer. Who knows?
That could be, that could be it. But I don't think that's far-fetched, to be honest. I thought that was good.
Because we shall know, because the way how Storm cooked this up, I'll tell you, and I love Storm. It was cooked. It was cooked up because I used the exact same title. Because what I wanted, I said I'm gonna use the exact same title. Let's see what they got to say. I did, because I said I'm gonna use the exact same title. Because she agreed to come on the show. I said okay, and I said come now, because I don't wait. You know why I don't wait for interviews? I interview in the middle of the night in my drawers. Is because they might go somewhere else and spill it, and I come now. I'm ready. Let's do it right. Don't tell me that in the DM.
I didn't even know you was on live. I was actually watching the other video, and then I exited, and then all of a sudden I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, what's going on?"
I'll lie. This is why I tell people all the time, sis, and you said something that to hit up on the text line, and it's free because I text the people. I say, "Hey, we got this first." I told Stacia here first, and I said, "I got this exclusive." And then I sent the text out, and then she came on, and it is up to the public. Now, of course, people are going to say Wiley stole the interview. I didn't steal anything. I can't steal something that you don't own. Storm don't own her. That's not his property. So she's not on the 360. So she's free to go on anybody's channel to tell that experience about Cory. Now, what would blow this up even further if Cory sue me and sue her. Then everybody will be like, okay, let's look into the young man he stayed with. Let's look into where he was running. That would make more. Then people would be like, okay, it's some more to this story.
Now, my thing is, if you even insinuate something like that about me, I'm coming. Period.
Yeah. And so if he sued, I'm here with it. Okay. This is my first lawsuit.
I mean, it's your fault. It's not your fault. But like, I'm coming for whoever said that because.
So, and then I'm going to be like, well, damn, let's track down neighbors. Like, let me get more into this story because if I get along, well, damn, what else more is said? It won't hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because it won't hurt me because you would have to first. This will make me more popular. I'm gonna just tell you what it is. Cory would be dumb to sue Wiley, unknown blogger to the mainstream, and drag me in a lawsuit, especially a person that's hungry for fame. I'm doing media, showing up to TMZ, showing up to Roland Martin, showing up to MSNBC, showing up to CNN, showing up to BT. Anybody with a mic, I'm showing up to talk about the whole situation. So this would be the wrong person to sue because I'm not gonna be scared. That only scare people that don't know. Because I know it's a process in the court system. You don't just get a judgment just like that. It is a process. And that's what we need to understand. So that's not going to just, oh my God, he said, lawful girl, I got to quit doing what I'm doing. No, that ain't going, you can try that with somebody. That ain't going to scare me. Let's go through this process. If you got the money to spend it, baby. I'll be on for a ride.
My last thing.
Go ahead.
My last thing is, what's our problem with August? Like, what?
So what she said is, Cory hit one of the former neighbors, and then Cory played victim. She's using the analogy of August and Tory Lanez.
Using it wrong.
I don't know why she just won't say it. But
She's using it wrong. August had no smoke for this dude. He just walked by him. If you chase me, I mean, and the man is sick. Like, what? What? I don't know. I'm already side-eyeing that because it's like you don't even have you're not even judging that situation correctly.
Yeah, and that's her side, and it's up to the public. Now, in the morning, people are going to say, Wiley, why did you do the interview? And I will tell you, I will interview anybody. If you say you was Oprah Winfrey neighbor, come on, let's talk. So I'm not CNN where you have the staff to vet on top of that. Most of these YouTubers don't have that.
No, so, that's not the fact checker. You got to be the fact checker. I mean, we
have to be the fact, and we just talk about it. We do the questions, and we ask her great questions. And I said, "Do you believe he's gay?" I'm not gonna say that. She was denying the thing of the straight questions that we was asking about Cory.
I mean, you got to say it with your chest. If you're gonna come out here and say something, don't beat around the bush. I'm not a beat around the bush person. I'm just
but maybe she don't want to get a lawsuit. That's probably why she was beat around the bush and playing with it. Because if it was me, girl, you said all that, say what it is.
Don't say it. Say it with your chest. I mean, if it's true, what are you gonna do?
No, Ashley, you're saying, Wiley, if you're cool with Storm, you could have waited after. Let me tell you something why that's so dumb. Storm have 100. No, he have. Is it 200,000 some followers than me? He have 80 times. He have 80 times the amount of support than I have. Me doing an interview is like you doing an interview. That is set it up for people to go look at Storm interview. That's not taking anything from Storm. Storm people are going to still watch that on his channel. I don't have the power to take away from Storm Light. That don't make it. He have over 200,000. I have 28,000. If you're afraid over 28,000, then you need to quit doing what you're doing because, baby, you're in the wrong. You don't believe in your own destiny. You don't believe in your own platform. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, do you think people would give Wiley a phone call in the morning that I'm going to interview somebody that you interview? No, I'm not. I never received that phone call because we are cordial. We're not brothers. We are cordial. and we don't have like a friendship like that. We're cool, but it's not to the type of cool where I have to tell you my business, because guess what? Storm not going to tell me his business, right?
Right.
He didn't tell me his business at all. He didn't even tell me who the neighbor was. I cried out saying, I want to speak to the neighbor. Said it, and I went about my happy way. I was ordering clothes off of Fashion Nova, ordering me some clothes so I can go to Monique's show that's coming up in Atlanta. This lady, the neighbor, said, I'm the neighbor. I said, you the neighbor? She was giving me voice note. I'm hearing her voice. I said, well, she sound like a neighbor. If she ain't, well, I just then got gooped. And I said, come on. We can do it right now. She was trying to spill some tea about Missy. I said, nope, let's talk about it on the air. I learned that from Oprah when they would try to tell Oprah stuff in the green room. She said, let's talk about it on the air. So let's just talk about it on the air. Okay.
That's right. A YouTube check.
Yeah, so that's all we did. This is a business.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you what Lee Daniels told Monique. This is show business. This is a business. Armand is not gonna give me a phone call and say, "Hey, I'm going to be interviewing somebody." No, he's gonna interview. Even Armand Wiggins' friend just said Cardi B party was boring, and his own friend said that. But he got that because Wiley said Cardi B party is boring. So I'm not afraid. Me and Storm is good. Is good. I'm still going to pay the $5.99 to see the interview because I'm still a supporter of Storm. See, y'all might not pay y'all $5.99. I don't know about you, IG. I'm still going to pay it just to see, did she say something else that was different than my interview? And if she did, I'm going to come back and report on that on my YouTube channel.
Report it.
Because a lawsuit still can happen if you charge or don't charge. Y'all do know that, right? Just
That's
because
true.
you put it on Patreon or you charge it on Netflix, you still can get a lawsuit. So that doesn't shield you from a lawsuit. But I will be listening with my pen and paper. I'm gonna be writing, and I'm gonna come and do my review because $5.99, that ain't nothing. That ain't $5,000. That's $5.99. I can pay that.
I'll wait for you to report it. $5.99 is gas.
Right. So
Come back and tell them.
So I'm still going to be there supporting, just like I supported T.S. Madison, a person that we have been sending her countless emails come on the show. She always said no. And we supported her and went to see that movie. Even though I was the only one in the theater, did Funky Dineva say support the movie? He didn't say nothing on Fox Soul. Did Armand Wiggins say support the movie? He didn't say nothing on any of his social media, not on YouTube. But Wiley did it. And I am going to tell y'all, go see that interview with Kiki Green on Storm Monroe platform. Y'all should have $5.99. If you don't have $5.99, I'm definitely gonna pray for you. And I
got it. I don't want to pay.
And if you don't want to pay, that's your choice. But a lot of Storm people, if I was Storm, when he gonna drop it? Tomorrow? I would drop that today. I wouldn't even wait. I would drop it today. To be honest, I would drop it on the 13th. I would just in the morning when he wake up, drop that sucker. I wouldn't even wait. Because what's going to happen, that neighbor is going to go on other YouTuber shows. Yep. Because other YouTubers going to reach out to her. And if she's smart, tell it to the rooster and tell the people, I'm a singer. My name Kiki Green, and get to sing. Promote yourself. You would be dumb not to promote yourself if you do music. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, ma'am.
I said we was asking her to sing. She ain't saying nothing.
Yeah, she didn't want to sing that. So I got her thing on Spotify, and I'm definitely gonna be playing some of her records on my Station show. And we're gonna dive into her singing. I don't mind it because, like I said, she had a story. Obviously, it picked up legs because Cory spoke on it and said lawsuit. That made me interested. The Neighborhood Talk reached out to us, and we were talking conversing. I said, I want to interview the neighbor, and and people thought she wasn't gonna come on. And I said it, and I didn't think I went to sleep when I interviewed the neighbor. We reached out to Claudia Jordan, and we said, and she put a heart on our thing. Eventually, you're gonna see celebrities gonna come over to the Wiley Show. Why? Because I asked them. And I ain't gonna pay him. I just asked him and stuff like that. I'm gonna see Whoopi Goldberg in the grocery store. She gonna be buying some groceries, maybe some apples and oranges. I'm gonna say, Whoopi, what's up, my love? I would love you to come on the Wiley Show. That's just gonna happen. All right. So we're gonna speak that in existence, but people are gonna be messy. Wiley stole your interview. You would be dumb to say something like that. But if you say it, I'll go live on my channel and I will definitely respond to it. Okay. I would definitely do it. They said under an Ogre contract. No, I didn't talk to Ogre. I talked to my Legal Shield attorney, he looked at it. He said, man, put that up. You ain't gonna get no lawsuit there, man. I said, okay, cool. Come on, lady. I just text my Legal Shield attorney. He said, what? And then he was listening. He said, you ain't gonna get a lawsuit. He said, the man a vampire. That's a waste of court time. The court's gonna be like, bruh, really? Bruh, really? I would love to be in the same courtroom with Cory. I would love that because I'm with a celebrity. Like, people didn't understand Tasha K and Cardi B. I'm learning from that situation because Cardi B now have to chase Tasha. What's going on with that? Tasha is continuing to be attached to Cardi B brand. That is what you see. This is different than anything. You see that Cardi and Tasha is attached together. And now Tasha have gotten bigger than what she was before the lawsuit. And now Tasha K is playing another chess. Well, I'm going to make you chase me for this money. I'm going to take it out of the chase. Now, you know she took that money out of Chase. She got way more than $1,000. Let me take all of this money out because y'all going to come for the account. Let me put it in this bank. You just going to be chasing me around. That is what's going to, and then you see, well, Cardi B and Tasha K and Cardi B, that shouldn't be because Cardi B, you are a celebrity and now you have boosted up Tasha as a celebrity as well. So if Cory were to sue Brother Wiley, it would be the same thing. It would be the same thing because me, then I'm going to get reckless with my, hell, I'm already in a lawsuit. Now you're going to hear me being reckless. Well, blah, 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 blah. I believe that this is what I want to say. Whoever give me a camera, I'm going to just spewing it out. And then by the time he get also, I done became so big. I'm doing stand-up comedy. I'm doing I'm doing movies. I'm doing all type of stuff because that's what's going to happen. Just like when she sued the witch, Nosy Ho, that made Nosy Ho bigger. She's not that smart because she don't know how to market herself that well, but it made her bigger when Nicki Minaj sued her. If that was me, I'm not gonna tell you what I would have done. I'm gonna just keep that on the down low because I wasn't gonna tell you what I would have done because they're not, a lot of them not that smart when you deal with a, when a celebrity sue you because that's international press. You got to know how to monetize off of when you're hot, and a lot of people don't know how to monetize. And one thing that Tasha, I learned from that sister, she monetized that lawsuit to her advantage. Now Cardi B looking stupid. I'm paying you for all your money. You still responding to Tasha. I would just be silent. But of course she didn't. And now you see Tasha K going to Africa doing this, gave post $1,000. It just making you look stupid. Because she's still not in jail. It made Cardi B look stupid. Then now Cardi B, you showing half of your yoni, the black part of your yoni at your party because in our mind we just posted a picture. Ain't that embarrassing?
He did what?
When Cardi B was on her outfit, right? The outfit was covering up the yoni, supposed to. But the picture he zoomed in, you actually see half of her lip, her yoni. You a woman, you know half of the lip. You see it. And so,
oh my God.
So whoa, like, and you see that. And then you see Jamie Foxx get turned away from the party. It's just like Cardi B just taking L on top of L. Then you see her not get Call of Duty, and Nicki Minaj get the Call of Duty. L after L after L is just laughable, right? Nicki Minaj sued Nosy Ho, but you didn't see Nicki Minaj responding to Nosy. You didn't see her. You didn't see any of that. Then Nosy got scared because she got a lawsuit. Now I just want to apologize to the baby. I didn't mean to. If you already in a lawsuit, forget an apology. Baby, I'm pressing the gas. You already in a lawsuit. What more can they do? That's one thing that I learned from Tasha. You already in a lawsuit. Ain't no way in the world I'm going to apologize. You already in a lawsuit, man. Press the gas. See this all the way through. Just get in the battle with Nicki. Antagonize her. And, of course, she didn't do it. You antagonize everybody else. You antagonize Monica from All About the Tea. You antagonize innocent black women with business because she tried to track down Monica All About the Tea identity. You harass all of it, and now you just want to. I wouldn't apologize. I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it. I would have pressed again. I want to see Nicki Minaj get on that stand like Cardi B did and cry, and then I'd have been there smirking. you let a blogger, because that's what Cardi B did. Cardi B cried. She said she had marital problems. It was good entertainment. Eventually, you never know. I think Tasha K should do a documentary about that or something. Or movie or something. That's what I'm saying. So when you sue somebody, that makes that person bigger. Like Alex Jones, he's not going to stop doing what he's doing. That's going to make him bigger. He's going to get more sponsors and more people are going to support him. That is what we're saying on here. But of course, we're going to be talking about that later on in the show, I know. And then thank you so very much to Kiki Green. She's going to follow me on TikTok, and we will be listening to her music and giving an honest review of her music. And she sounds very educated. And I do believe she's probably educated. She sounds very educated. She gave her opinion. If y'all mad at Kiki Green, leave a comment. Be mad at Storm for bringing her to the existence, because we would not have known this if Storm didn't say he had a neighbor of Cory Hardrict. Let's be real. If she didn't reach out, you got to go back to the source. How did you know it was a neighbor? That's because Storm put it out there. So if you want to be mad at somebody, you be mad at Storm, not at Kiki. That's just like Oprah saying, I'm going to interview Prince Harry neighbor. And the neighbor talking about, well, he looked like a vampire, but I don't know. I don't think he's a vampire and all that. Then when you mad at Laban, be mad at Oprah. Oprah built it like she got Prince Harry neighbor.
That's true. That's true.
So I'm glad he started the mess, because we going to eat off the mess. I'm not mad at it. It's good. It feeds the ecosystem. And Kiki Green, I'm gonna be real messy. Go to the Armand Wiggins show. Give me a second. I'm gonna go to the Armand Wiggins show. I'm gonna give her all name of bloggers that show that she should go on. You should go on the Armand Wiggins show. I'm gonna be real messy, and you should go on a Michelle Elliott show. Ooh, that would be good. Elliott show. Conscious TV. How do y'all spell conscious TV? Spell it in the chat, because he's spelling a different way. Dr. Larry Reed. So I'm giving her channels to go. These are big platforms, man. Tell that story. Roast and gang. Feed the ecosystem. This is the YouTube ecosystem. So feed it. Go over there. Yes, she says, you think it's worth it? Yes. And if I was her, go back to the old neighborhood. Go back to the old neighborhood and record a video. I'm telling her how to do it. People don't understand. I would love to be a producer of somebody's channel. If I was her, Kiki Green, go to the old neighborhood and say, this is what Tia met Cory. Feed that energy on TikTok. That's how you get clicks and views. If I have to change position, I would love to be a producer other than a host. Like, I'll be there, go over here, take pic, go over there, go to, like, this is where they was at, and the boys was right here, and it's really, really weird. Go to the old neighborhood. If I get sued, we all just got to get sued.
No.
They said Wiley trying to spin around so Cory don't sue.
You know Cory coming.
Well, if he sues Storm and Wiley, I'm here for it.
Have a good night.
All right, thank you, IG. Thank you for coming on, sis. Oh man, she got the fan fantasy. Yes, we have to tell her what it is. All right, thank y'all so very much, you guys. We was up late talking, and we definitely had you on the show. Thank y'all so very much. If anybody else want to say something before I go, I want to make sure we want to leave this on the 2-hour mark. Anybody got something to say? If you want to be notified when I go live, always. If you haven't, text Wiley, that's WILEY, to 888-534-4939. In the text bar, one word, Wiley, to 888-534-4939. You will never miss a live, because I send it to you directly. Be so sick, lady. Where my kids on preface. I'm sorry, but we had to get the story when she came on, and so I had to bring her on the show. Thank you all so very much, and we will see y'all in the other episode. Thank y'all. They said Wiley still boyfriend interviews. What's next? Also, too, if you want to donate to our Cash App, just in case if we do get a lawsuit, you can donate to our Cash App, because they said Wiley still boyfriends interviews. No, I don't. You could definitely do that. We don't have a call-in number. We have StreamYard. We're no longer doing a call-in number for the month of October. We're doing StreamYard. So you just hit you don't show your face. You don't have to show your face. It's just the audio. Okay. If you want to bless our Cash App, you could do so at $ Marquise Wiley 28. If you want to contribute to the show. Okay, we got another caller back there. Okay, hold on. Oh, here we go. Hi. Can you hear me? Is it Ray? Or can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, there we go. I can hear you now.
Okay, I'm glad you're up. Look, I'm just getting up and you trying to get out. However, now I'm sorry. What happened to somebody showing some black coochie or black yoni?
So that was in the previous video, but I will repeat it. Armand was at Cardi B party, and it's a picture floating around where he shared his story, and it showed part of Cardi B coochie.
How did he get down there?
Because Cardi B had an outfit that kind of exposed that area. Like if you take a picture of the wrong shot, you.
I know what you mean. Probably like had the lips.
Yeah.
I mean, the lips.
Yeah, the lips. That's what it is. Yes.
So it was a boring party.
So that's up to you, ma'am. I said the party was boring. You can watch the video.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it back again.
Definitely watch it. Other people said it was a boring party, and definitely check it out. And I definitely want you to check out this interview that we just did as well.
I was wondering because I was looking for pictures and stuff, and I didn't see nothing.
Oh, you didn't see it? Okay, but it's definitely out there. When you go on Twitter, you go on them stories, you see it. Belagograms, Mob Radio, or hashtag Mob World. She posted as well. And so it's definitely out there. But thank you, sis, for calling in and letting me know that.
Right.
And thank you. And thank you for your support. Thank you.
All right, no problem, Wiley.
All right, Oh, man. Thank y'all so very much. I got to go. I got to clean this up. So I got the housekeepers coming in the morning, and my house is junky. They're going to see this. Order, I cannot clean this apartment. It's too much mess. I got clothes everywhere. Okay. It's too much. Okay, thank y'all so very much. Stacey, thank y'all so very much. I'm gonna log out because I reached the 5-hour mark. So I'm done with that. All right, thank y'all so very much. We're done. All right. Peace, y'all. Make sure y'all thumbs up. We will see y'all in the next episode. Peace.